Two names are consistently whispered in hushed voices around the lands between. Miquella the Unalloyed and Saint Trina of the Cradle Song. Two different personas belonging to the very same person. The child of Radhn and Marika and the twin to Malenia the Blade of Miquella. He is truly an anomaly that we probably won't ever fully understand, but I will try to explain in this video why I believe Miquella is the true villain of Elden Ring. Miquella and his alternative persona have accomplished a lot in the lands between. He stole a child of the Erd tree, cultivating it with his own emperyan blood. He started an entire organisation founded in the dreams of the unconscious mind. He was the first person to repel the influence of the outer gods. He created unalloyed gold. These things just scratch the surface of Miquella's accomplishments, and while he is portrayed by his followers as kind and loving, helping the frail and weak, guiding them to his haven, his Halig tree. And while these acts may seem benevolent, they may seem kind, that isn't exactly true. Miquella's dynasty is built on a lie. Miquella himself is a fabrication, just like his other persona, Saint Trina. Miquella's ambitions and intellect started young, helping his father, Radhn, build the foundation of the Golden Order fundamentalist group. A group who used the power of both faith and intelligence. The very first of its kind. Even at his young age, Miquella helped his father make numerous incantations that are still used to the present regarding the Elden Ring timeline. Miquella's time in the Golden Capital would soon come to an end though. The only person we know of that Miquella loved, truly loved, would be his twin sister Melania, the Blade of Miquella. In his search for a cure to Melania's scarlet rot, and because the Golden Order could not help his sister, he fled. His sister in tow, of course, and created what would become known as unalloyed gold, a material that is capable of repelling the influence of the outer gods. And while this did slow the spread of the rot, in truth, the rot is unstoppable and only can be stifled for so long. After stealing a sapling of the Erd tree, Miquella bathed it in his own blood, creating the Halig tree, and almost as soon as the Halig tree was birthed, people flocked to him. Nobody knew why, but almost everyone, no matter who they were, loved him, and they trudged through the deep snows of the mountains, the giant and the consecrated snowfields. They had to find the two halves of the medallion and use it as the lift of Radhn, and all this just to get to Miquella's sanctuary, his Halig tree. Hundreds, possibly even thousands, died indirectly by Miquella's hands. The real question is what compelled them to throw their lives away so easily. I imagine that soon after developing the unalloyed gold, Miquella started toying with it, bending it to his will until unalloyed gold incantations were born. Sadly though, only one of these incantations exists still in game. This item is the bewitching branch. Yes, this item is useful, allowing you to take over the minds of your foes, even making them attack their own kin, but the dark truth of this item lies in its description. The emperyan Miquella is loved by many people. Indeed, he has learned very well how to compel such affections. The bewitching branch item description sheds light on Miquella's lie. It tells us about how he is loved and is very, very heavily implied that he uses the bewitching branches on a very large scale. With this information, so much clicks into place. Why the enemies in the Halig tree who throw themselves at you like kamikaze pilots explode themselves at you. Why the clean rot knights poison themselves with the scarlet rot, slowly killing themselves. Why the common folk trudge through the lands between, sacrificing them and their kin. Why the priests of Saint Trina are so devoted, and perhaps Melania to an extent. Perhaps he even had a hand in the destruction of Caelid. I mean, Melania is the Blade of Miquella. Would she really initiate such a battle without confirmation from her brother? All these deaths by Miquella's hands. It's easy to say that Miquella had no control over this, but just the fact that this power of his can be manipulated into this branch shows that it can be controlled, and these manipulations are of his own accord. Something that is also peculiar would be Mohg's part in all of this, having been possibly bewitched by Miquella. At first glance you might be thinking, why?
Marika's tits.
Would he bewitch Mohg? After all, he kidnapped Miquella, ripping him out of the Halig tree. The reason is in fact because it was all part of Miquella's plan. Look at it like this. Miquella has so many reasons to bewitch the Lord of Blood. 1. It gives Miquella an even bigger army that is just as obsessed with Mohg as his army is with him. 2. Mohg on multiple occasions calls Miquella his dearest Miquella, putting a ring on his malformed finger, a ring like the one we give to Ranni in the Age of Stars ending. This indicates that Miquella is Mohg's consort. The definition of consort is as follows: a wife, husband or companion, in particular the spouse of a reigning monarch. This would lead to both their orders joining due to marriage, and like seen with Radhn and Rennala, marriage is a great way to strengthen their needs. And what's more important than anything to a dynasty? Heirs. Now in our world, two males would not be able to produce a child, but I think at least for the Elden Ring universe, where a god fucks itself and produces two baby gods, the logic of our world really isn't that prevalent. Or does it matter? And as incest doesn't seem that big of a deal to these demigods, some might say Melania would be the best candidate for Miquella, but that wouldn't be the case due to the fact Miquella already has a claim to Melania's property and army, most likely having been bewitched years prior. Miquella will also become even more powerful than before, having been drowned in the accursed blood of Mohg, and while this would lead to him becoming deformed, the benefits would surely be worth it, though only time would tell. While it's not directly stated, another unalloyed gold incantation is hinted at. We know 111% that Miquella is Saint Trina, due to the cut content and data mines. Something peculiar is in some of the Saint Trina item description is that when he is seen, he is different for everyone, whether that be a young girl or a young boy, so on and so on. If this is the ability of the incantation, this suggests that he has the power to foster illusions and change the fabric of reality, and as we learn in Dark Souls 3, such powers can be very, very dangerous and very, very useful. Something that is also very interesting would be oracle envoys located in and on the branches of the Halig tree. These oracles arrive at places to herald the new age or a new god. Powers of foresight allow them to see us, the player character, bringing in new ages, as seen in Lindell, the Ashen capital. By the fact that they are present at the Halig tree means they have seen something we have not. They sit there waiting to blow their horns for a new age or a new god. The most likely person who would be responsible for this would be Miquella. After all, he is the most fearsome emperyan with the allure of a god. Add all of this together and you'll see why he's the main villain of Elden Ring. He has an army who is completely loyal to him, who are willing to throw away everything for him. Priests of dreams scattered around the lands between, waiting to do his bidding. Unknown abilities regarding to dreams and the unconscious minds. Oracles waiting to herald a new age or a new god. Common folk by the thousands, possibly even tens of thousands, which could be used as cannon fodder. The ability to foster illusions and even warp the fabric of reality. Oglord of Blood, the Mohgwyn dynasty, the White Masks, the Sanguine Nobles, a lot of Albinaurics all at his back. He was completely filled with the accursed blood Mohg provided. The anger of the Emperyan who has lost his closest friend and kin. Miquella might not have played a big part in the Shattering War or the wars to follow, excluding the infamous battle in Caelid. In truth, he was waiting in the shadows for the right moment to strike. He allowed his kin to be killed one by one, and when the world was nothing but a wasteland, he'll strike, claiming it for himself. I don't and I won't claim that I know the exact reasoning for Miquella doing this, but with all the things presented to us, I think it's fair to say that all of his army, all of his properties, everything he has is going to be focused against us, possibly in the DLC. Due to the fact that we killed his sister and, well, the fact that we are one of the strongest people in the lore in the lands between, and, well, that would make us a threat to Miquella. A place that we could possibly get our answers for these questions will be in the DLC. On the 25th of February, Bandai Namco is hosting an event for the 1 year anniversary, so maybe we'll get some information on the DLC there. Sadly everyone, that is the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. If you didn't, a dislike is just as appreciated. I really hope that I have convinced you that Miquella is the true villain of Elden Ring. If I haven't and you think there's some flaws in my thoughts about Miquella, then please let me know down in the comments below. I also wanted to say thank you so fucking much for 600 subscribers. It truly means the world to me. Thank you so much everyone. I really hope you have a great rest of your day, and
farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.